Central Virginia once again dealing with the remnants of a severe storm after strong winds knocked down trees, leaving branches on cars and streets. Thanks so much for joining us for 8 News at 4. I'm Heather Hope. 8 News is bringing you team coverage tonight. 8 News reporter Alexa Bonilla in Chesterfield with a look at the cleanup underway. But first, let's get a look at our forecast with Storm Tracker 8 Chief Meteorologist Matt DiNardo. Matt, what are you tracking tonight?
Well, right now we're relatively quiet.
New at 4 after no grand prize winner during last night's drawing. The Powerball jackpot is now up to $1 billion. The next drawing is tomorrow night and is the 8th largest jackpot in Powerball history. If no one wins tomorrow night, the prize will continue to climb. Welcome back. Tesla's autopilot feature raising concerns over the future of autonomous vehicles. Now an uptick in self-driving car crashes has federal investigators on notice. News Nation's Marcus Espinoza has more on these concerns. They are researching dust from the Sahara West and how it impacts the ability of satellites to analyze weather data and climate change. And they tell us it is work that historically black colleges and universities rarely get to participate in. A driver is dead after a crash in Hanover County. Police tell us it happened around 6:30 this morning on Cedar Lane. Investigators say a commercial vehicle veered into an oncoming lane, hitting 51-year-old Patton Smith, who was driving a Honda Odyssey. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver and passenger in the commercial vehicle were taken to the hospital and they are expected to recover. Charges are pending at this time. All right, Matt, while Central Virginia sees a small break in the rain, some residents might still be dealing with the impacts from Tuesday's flash flood. One insurance agency says high water can do quick damage to cars and trucks, especially if the electronics get soaked. And your final bill for water damage, whether it's for your home, business, or vehicle, will likely depend on what kind of insurance you have.
The good rule of thumb for homeowners.
And I'm Heather Hope. A chaotic scene in one of the busiest areas of Virginia Beach this afternoon. Police shot a man they say was wielding an 11-inch knife on the shoreline outside a hotel. No officers were hurt. And as a reminder, most of Virginia is still under a drought warning, and Richmond officials are urging voluntary conservation efforts. So that means cutting back on everyday water use when possible, like turning off the faucet while brushing your teeth, watering lawns only during the cooler parts of the day, limiting outdoor water use, and shutting off ornamental fountains. And despite this week's rainfalls making the ground look wetter, officials say it hasn't been enough to replenish water supplies after months of drought. And to tell us more about the drought, our Storm Tracker 8 forecast, we turn now to Chief Meteorologist Matt DiNardo. And Matt, are we making a dent in this at all?
We're not really, and here's why.
All right, Matt, thanks. Search and rescue crews continue to look for survivors in Venezuela following last night's double earthquakes with magnitudes of 7.2 and 7.5. At least 188 people confirmed dead and more than 1,000 injured. ABC's Michelle Franzen joins us with the latest. Welcome back. A brand new playground at Chimborazo Elementary School, designed for kids by kids. Volunteers from CarMax started working as early as 7 a.m. and built it in just 6 hours. The playground will serve over 400 kids and their families within the community. Welcome back. With the official start of summer this week, many families and groups of friends are headed to the beach or the lake for vacation. And every summer trip, rip currents are the cause of a large number of fatal drownings and countless rescues.
Over to you.
We see hot in all capital letters, Matt. Thanks. Now to kids and screen time. A hot button issue in a major school district making a change. ABC's Rena Roy has the story.
The Virginia Museum of History and Culture is gearing up to showcase its illumination.
8 News anchor Heather Hope got a sneak peek of the video art and shows us how the museum is preparing for this moment for a decade.
It's a colorful tapestry unfolding on a building, literally. The Virginia Museum of History and Culture brings to life the story of America's 250 years. a spectacle of light, moving images, and music captivating onlookers from outside the museum walls.
It's atypical from like going into a theater. You get to see a live theater in front of you.
The sprawling art in motion is projected where Richmonders can see it from the sidewalk.
And I'll tell you, there's no bad seat in the house. Anywhere you are on Arthur Ashe Boulevard, as long as you can hear it and you can see it, you're going to get the full experience.
That experience on display at the VMHC, June 25th through the 28th.
And although the illumination video doesn't last more than 20 minutes, it chronicles America's 250-year history, all shown in front of the museum building.
What better way to celebrate the 250th than to bring the archives and the stories that this storied museum holds through our front facade, right? It is going to be epic, a nearly 250-foot wide front facade of the museum, all illuminated each night at 9 o'clock.
Museum President Jamie Boskett says his team doesn't take America's milestone birthday lightly. The VMHC has been planning for 10 years for this celebration and wants the community to join its free block party for 4 days, filled with Virginia folklife cultural demonstrations, a bounce house, petting zoo, food trucks, and live music.
This sort of projection experience, it happens quite a bit in Europe, but not very much in the United States. So this is a real rare opportunity for Richmond and Virginia to see something really special.
So special that Richmond resident of the Museum District, Jay Mann, couldn't keep his eyes off the illumination.
I like following the timeline of our country and what kind of built it up, you know, the good and the challenging, and you're dealing with a lot of that right now. I mean, there's a lot of beauty in our country, there's a lot of continuity. What stuck out with me was E pluribus unum, you know, come from many come one, or become one, right? And that's not something that I really thought about until I sat around here and I saw it. It was, you know, it brought it all together.
And like any good show, this one goes out with a bang.
What they did from a video standpoint and the music and the fireworks, it really told a great story.
Heather Hope, 8 News.
This month, Next Star and 8 News are honoring remarkable women. And out of almost 12,000 nominations across America, 125 women were chosen to be recognized for bettering their communities. And here at 8 News, we are honoring our region's winner, Simone Hall, who moved to Richmond as a single mom during the pandemic and quickly created a networking group for Black women that now has more than 10,000 members.
I was seeking a place for us once I touched down. I was like, where are people at? Like, why are we not like coming together? Where's the girls?
Data analyst for VCU Health, entrepreneur, and college professor Simone Hall was on a search for sisterhood. The Ohio native moved to the River City from North Carolina in 2020, but struggled to find friends as a single mother.
I use like my networking skills to really like break into the barrier that is Richmond, because I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know, like Richmond's a very tight-knit community. Like if you don't know, like you won't know.
Hall started meeting women in the grocery store and hosted networking events that kept growing.
I was like actually physically texting like 25 people, and it was like overwhelming. I was like, hey, this is where we're meeting, this is where we're meeting. Oh, bring this, bring that.
So in 2023, Hall created Black Girls of RVA on Facebook as a network to promote businesses, seek advice, and be empowered.
People just started to invite people like rapid fire. Like it was to a point where I was like, oh, like we have hundreds of people in the queue, and like this, we need help. Like, we need a team.
In comes Vernetta Winston Green, who's part of the Black Girls of RVA Board of Directors Empowerment Committee.
I joined and it's been completely life-changing.
Their team of about 15 has directors who run programming and an advisory board that connects the community to leadership.
It's just hard. It's hard to make friends. I'm like now at 40. I thought I would never make new friends at 40. But yeah, it's just been great.
But not always easy. Having a group exclusively for Black women can come with challenges and pushback.
My block list is crazy at this point. We need a space where we can feel connected, where our shared and lived experiences don't have to be over-explained to anybody. We don't have to explain Black culture to another Black woman.
In under 2 years, Black Girls of RVA got 10,000 members and became a 501c3 organization, a huge accomplishment that led Hall's husband, Jared Hall, to write a letter touting why his wife is remarkable.
He hears it all, and he's getting to know it was him is a very special time.
Hall balances being a mom of 3 with her multiple jobs despite a rocky beginning.
If I don't tell my story, people will think I just, silver spoon, have it all together, just, oh, you had the life, the Cosby Show. No, like, I grew up in craziness. I think one of my first memories was my father, like, chasing my mother with a knife in the apartment to kill her, actually, and I was, like, 3.
She feels her raw relatability is the secret sauce to the group's growth, and her team agrees.
There have been plenty of times where I just felt like today is just not it for me, but just to get a message from her, a text from her, or just inside of the group, she's really inspiring. Like, I am inspired by her.
Hall hopes to continue to be an inspiration.
I hope to, show little brown girls that they can do it too.
Heather Hope, 8 News.
Congratulations to Simone Hall. She says also her goal for the group's 3-year anniversary this year is to host a Black Girl Joy Festival in the fall and their first ever Christmas gala. The extreme cold this week caused faith leaders to spring into action. One Richmond church planned to open its doors as a homeless shelter just for the weekend. But those 2 days soon turned into the week, with the ministry helping dozens to have a warm place to stay.
We were planning for 48 to 72 hours, and now we're 6 days in.
Pastor Nick Jenkins of Awaken Church RVA planned to turn his church into a crisis weather shelter for a couple days for the snowstorm.
We have space. We're an outreach-driven church. We got some connections with my role at the food bank. We got some support. Let's see if we can at least open the doors for 48 hours, up to maybe 72.
Planning to close on Monday, the city of Richmond reached out to his church on Tuesday, asking them to stay open and shelter more people in need, as the city was deactivating a shelter and moving staff.
They sent 2 vans to us, and we received about 16 more people from them. And then so we've been open since last Saturday.
Providing heat, food, and water. Jenkins gets help as he's also the director of community outreach for the Chesterfield Food Bank. He was hesitant to stay open for so long, saying he has a small church for about 75 to 100 people with no showers, no kitchen, just a giving heart.
We don't want to see people die, and we've been blessed with a space to steward, so we want to steward it well.
Now that the city of Richmond opened a new shelter, the church transferred its unhoused group there and will close until it's needed again.
I think that this really showed our community that it doesn't take some 72 different meetings. It just takes people willing enough to open up their doors and show up, and the people will be there.
They will be there, and we're tracking this storm all weekend long on air and online. So be sure to scan the QR code on your screen now to download our 8 News app. There you'll receive breaking news and weather alerts sent right to the palm of your hand. And tonight we kick off our 6 weeks of coverage by highlighting a father and son duo defying the odds by keeping the family's medical practice open for 115 years.
This large picture is a picture of my grandfather. Black doctors from the old age.
Pictures of the past. Dr. Richard Jackson gazes upon his grandfather, Dr. Isaiah Jackson, born in 1888 and founder of his family-owned Dominion Medical Associates in 1911. Outside of the brick building in Richmond's historic Jackson Ward is a plaque honoring Isaiah as a co-founder of the once renowned Richmond Community Hospital. It was a lifeline for the Black community, not accepted at white hospitals.
To have them here to look at, when I have questions sometime or deep thoughts, I come here and I look at his picture and wonder, what would he do in different situations.
Isaiah started the family tradition. Then his son Reginald Jackson followed in his father's footsteps. Then Richard, all 3 becoming doctors.
I remember when I was 5 years old, my grandfather sat me on his knee and he says, "My intelligentsia, one day he's going to take over my practice," and I did.
Fast forward to the 4th generation at Dominion Medical. Richard A.J. Jackson Jr. is Director of Clinical Research, operating this centrifuge machine that separates platelets from red blood cells.
My goal is, for my next 50 or 60 years here, is to just keep it going.
The oldest of 5 siblings and the only boy, AJ wasn't trying to go into the family business until he got his MBA from VCU and saw how he could upgrade his father's medical practice.
We want to show by example, like, hey, we can do it. We can have this lineage that we sustain by keeping up to date with technology and industry changes. You know, so can you.
At a time when there aren't many family-owned private practices surviving more than 100 years.
There are people that look like us that are successful, that have made our own way, you know, and built our own things.
Building a legacy filled with medical professionals.
We're keeping it in the family. Yeah, there'll be another after me. I have 3 children. One of my sisters has 4. The other one has 2.
Keeping their forefather, Dr. Isaiah Jackson's dream alive.
He'd be proud and tell us to get back to work.
Heather Hope, 8 News.
Great encouraging words to hear right there as they're walking in their forefathers' footsteps. I mean, not many family-owned practices remain open for a century, but to have a Black-owned family one in Jackson Ward all this time, a great testament to that family.
And his parting words that his grandfather would say, you know, we're proud of you. Now get back to work.
Get back to work, no slacking off. We have to keep this going on for generations and generations.
Right.